Guys, this is a video that I don't want to make. It's a video that I've never wanted to make. We here at the Israel Guys are being targeted by pro-Hamas, anti-Israel jihadist thugs on a massive scale. And we'll get into the details on that specifically in a minute. But first, I want to speak to you as an American. I know that with the name the Israel Guys, many assume that we're Israeli, but that's not actually true. Everyone here on the team is American. We are neither Israeli nor Jewish, but we're Christian Zionists. And that means we read our Bibles, and when we see that God says he is greatly, fervently zealous for Zion, we believe it. When God said he chose Israel as his inheritance forever, we believe it. When God said that the sun would have to cease rising in the east before he discards his covenant with Israel, we believe it. And we also believe that when God told Abraham that he who blesses you will be blessed, and he who curses you will be cursed, he meant it. You can easily see this verified and played out throughout the pages of history. Time after time after time, nations turned their back on the Jewish people, channeling their opposition to everything good and holy and to a vile hatred of God's chosen people. But in the end, it always backfired. Babylon fell, Greece fell, Rome fell, the Ottomans fell, the British Empire fell. But yet the Jewish people are still here today, alive and thriving, and thank God, now with the sovereign nation of Israel. To date, America has backed the state of Israel. We supported its creation in 1948. We gave military assistance when it was needed most in Israel's fight for survival in 1973. And we have enabled Israel's military defense complex, saving countless Israeli lives. Deep down, many conservatives and Christians have known that supporting Israel was the right thing to do. We have known that Jews in America that fled from the horrors of Nazi Europe must be welcomed and protected here on our shores. But today, that dynamic is quickly changing. Anti-Semitism is on the rise at an alarming rate. After October 7th, when 1,200 Israelis were butchered in some of the most horrific ways imaginable, anti-Semitic incidents in America skyrocketed by 388%. On college campuses, that number went up by something closer to 500%. In 2024, 3.5 million American Jews experienced anti-Semitism in their personal lives, and these numbers are horrifying. And that's just the anti-Semitism. On the Israel front, between 2020 and today, sympathy for Israel from Americans dropped from 74% down to 46%. All while Israel has been fighting a desperate war of self-defense on 7 fronts after being attacked, and while fighting, accomplished one of the best civilian-to-terrorist casualty rates ever seen in a war fought by a modern military. And those anti-Semitic incidents are quickly turning deadly. Several weeks ago, a young Jewish couple who were engaged to be married soon were executed outside of a Jewish museum in Washington, D.C. by a terrorist who yelled, "Free Palestine." Then just this week, at a peaceful march in Colorado calling for the release of the Israeli hostages in Gaza, an Egyptian national used a flamethrower and Molotov cocktails to attack the gathering crowd while also shouting, "Free Palestine." 15 people were injured, including a Holocaust survivor. And this brings us to today. As we've talked about quite extensively here on the channel, we've been planning an Israel summit for quite some time. The idea was to bring Americans together, to show our support for the Jewish people and for the nation of Israel. We had over 1,000 people registered to attend in person and online, and our venue was a public convention center in Arlington, just outside of Dallas, Texas. Last week, we were made aware that our event was under a massively heightened threat level from anti-Israel jihadists, and thus an overwhelming security burden estimated in the hundreds of thousands of dollars if we were going to pull it off. This forced us to relocate. We were able to secure a second venue, also in Texas, but this time at a private facility. Then just last night, 4 days before the summit was set to begin on Monday, the venue also was forced to pull out due to severe levels of direct threats toward the summit and the venue itself, again, by anti-Israel jihadist groups who are calling en masse to target the parties involved. With the threat levels so high and no time to secure an alternate venue, we were forced last night to indefinitely postpone the Israel summit. Guys, in case you don't realize what's happening here, America is in a very, very dangerous place. We are slipping so hard and so fast toward the anti-Semitic slope that so many countries have slid down throughout history. It's dizzying. Not only are Americans quickly turning more and more against the Jewish people and turning their backs on the nation of Israel, but even holding a conference to support the nation of Israel has become unfeasible. Last year, our event was nearly shut down in Nashville, and this year it actually was shut down in Dallas by anti-Israel, pro-Hamas jihadist thugs. And this is Texas and Tennessee. We're talking about two states that should be some of the most supportive of the nation of Israel. This is why we have to fight. We have to fight like never before. As we have seen historically, our survival as a country depends on how we treat God's chosen people. We have to stand up, we have to speak and take action like never before. Please spread the word about Israel everywhere you can. Share these videos that we produce with everyone you have contact with. Share about Israel with your church and community. Call your representatives. Tell them where you stand. Rally for Israel. March for Israel. Tell your local Jewish community you stand with them and that they are not alone. And guys, pray. Pray like never before for the future of our nation. We're not going to go down passively, and neither should you. As Isaiah 62 says, "For Zion's sake, I will not be silent, and for Jerusalem's sake, I will not be quiet, until her righteousness goes forth as brightness, and her salvation as a lamp that burns."